Let's talk about the OnReal 4K action camera, the first GoPro clone that's actually useful. What's up everybody, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. I love action cameras. There is just something awesome about small, durable, easy to use, high quality cameras that I'm in love with. I love action cameras. Enter the OnReal 4K. It's a pretty standard looking GoPro clone. However, underneath the hood, there are some features that are seriously impressive. Before we dig into it, full disclosure, OnReal provided me a discount code of 98%, so I paid like $2 for this camera for me to be able to review it. They're not paying me for the review, so things that I don't like about the camera, I have no problems telling you about. They just provided me the camera. Inside the box, you'll get the camera in a waterproof case, a wrist-mounted controller, and a whole bunch of accessories. Now, it also, something that's to its benefit, it uses 3M instead of just random crap stuff, so these mounts should actually stick to what you're trying to get them to stick to. So a trend I'm becoming aware of is when it comes to action cameras, the more legitimate the company is, the less they give you in the box. The Yi Lite came with the camera and a charging cable, and that was it. And the OnReal comes with all sorts of goodies to get the camera to function. First off, the packaging for this camera really impressed me. When OnReal reached out to me, I didn't think the packaging would be that good, but it really is very good. The camera feels incredible in the hand. One of my main complaints about my Yi Lite is how budget it feels. It just feels very plasticky and very cheap, and the OnReal feels very, very good. So the OnReal and the Yi Lite are shaped a little differently. The Yi Lite is more traditionally GoPro, which is a more squat, it's a more square-ish shape, whereas the OnReal is a more slimmer rectangular shape. But it does still work with my accessories, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Now, when it comes to GoPro clones, I'm really looking for 5 major things. Longtime subscribers will know these as the pillars of action. Action. So number 1, ease of use. And when I say ease of use, I mainly mean a functioning touchscreen. The OnReal has a wider touchscreen than the Yi Lite, as it's shaped a little more rectangular like we talked about. The screen is very responsive, and it is really easy to change the settings and operate this camera very quickly. And as a benefit, it also is very easy to see when it's bright outside. Number 2, I want it to work with my GoPro accessories. Now, my main accessory that I use for these things is my Feiyu G5 gimbal, and while it doesn't exactly match the shape, you can still fit it into the gimbal and it'll still work properly. 3, decent image quality. All of these action cameras use roughly the same sensors and they use roughly the same processors, so they all get around the same amount of image quality. But you can make such a budget camera that it looks terrible. We did a reviewing the cheapest action camera you can find, and it looked terrible. The image quality here is actually pretty good. 4, durable. If an action camera can't take a hit, it's not an action camera, period. Now, whereas the camera itself doesn't feel very durable, it does come with a waterproof case that gives me a lot more confidence in taking it out. The Yi Lite does have a case, but it's not included, and I purchased an additional aluminum case to go with the Yi Lite. I don't need to do that for this. So I did try to get the watch to work. I pressed a whole bunch of buttons, nothing worked. I couldn't find anything in the settings that said connection, so I didn't really try any harder than that. Watches like this to me are more of a gimmick. I like to judge cameras on the camera merit itself, and this camera is fantastic. 5, and most important to me, is some kind of built-in stabilization. I love stabilization, and in the year 2017, if your action camera does not have stabilization, you have severely hampered it in such a tight crowd of the Sony FDR X3000. The GoPros have great stabilization. Stable footage is what matters, and that's one of the main benefits of getting an action camera these days, is the stabilization. Now, to be honest, I was not expecting much. I brought my gimbal with me because I figured that was going to be the only way I was going to be able to get stable footage because it is a cheaper GoPro clone. And at the last minute, I decided to try its built-in stabilization. Now, it's not GoPro Hero 6 levels of stable, but it does have incredible electronic image stabilization that smooths out the shake of walking, which is amazing for such a budget camera. And, unlike the Yi Lite, turning on the stabilization does not add a weird warping effect to the footage. It's seriously, I'm not trying to gush about this action camera, but it really impressed me in the short amount of time I've been checking it out. Now, the most important specs for the OnReal are it has a 170-degree viewing angle, It has an f1.8 aperture. It has a 12 megapixel sensor resolution. It can do 4K video in up to 24 frames per second. It can do 1080p up to 60 frames per second, and it can do 720p up to 120 frames per second. One of the limiting factors is you can only go up to a 64 gigabyte micro SD card for this, so your 128 gigabyte cards will not be able to work. It comes with a 1050 milliamp hour battery, which should give you about 90 minutes of battery life. Now let's do some footage comparison between the OnReal and the Yeelight. So a big part when it comes to action cameras is the audio levels. So let's do a quick audio test. It's kind of breezy out here, so let's see what the big difference is. So this is the audio on the OnReal 4K action camera. Audio test 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the audio from the Yeelight action camera. Audio test 1, 2, 3, 4. So I really like both action cameras. They're really fantastic. We'll head back, we'll talk some more about it, but this is just some of the audio that you can expect straight out of both of the cameras' built-in microphones. All right.
What we do here is go back.
So what, right? I like to end all of my videos with a so what. So should you buy the OnReal 4K? Now, as of the taping of this video, the Yeelight is currently $67. You should if you're looking for a cheap action camera, 100% get the Yeelight for $67. That is an incredible deal for an incredible camera. However, if the Yeelight and the OnReal are the same price, I would recommend this over the Yeelight easily. This is a fantastic camera. Now, when companies send me products to review, I always give them away for two reasons. One, I like to thank you guys for watching the videos and being part of the community, and this is a good way to share in what I'm able to do with you guys. And number two, I feel like it keeps me more honest, because if I ever recommend something too much and it's actually garbage, well, at least one of you are gonna be able to say, no, I've got that product and it's crap, and you can call me out on my BS. So it kind of keeps me honest. This is the first thing I've reviewed so far that I do not want to give away. Like, I'm being honest when I say that. Just in the last like 3 or 4 days, the last week I've been using this camera has seriously impressed me. Like we're still gonna give it away, but I give this one away with a heavy heart. Well, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button down below. We do tech reviews and videos every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Well, hey, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure out that action cameras are amazing and I love them and you should love them too, you can figure it out. Thanks for watching.